I'm very proud to tell you guys this video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and right now they have a brand new Kaiju number 8 energy formula. You guys know, if you've been keeping up with my videos on my other channel, I love Kaiju number 8. I am extremely proud to say that I've tried this one out. This energy formula of the Kiwi Berry Blitz is absolutely insane, and you get that energy formula itself. There's just enough caffeine in the energy formula itself to get your day started. Another huge plus is the fact that there's zero crash when you use it, so you ain't got to worry about being Konohamaru and not being able to perform because you ain't got the energy. Also, you get all the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are going to get your day going, and best of all, there's zero sugar, which is a huge plus to me. You guys know that running multiple YouTube channels, it's not an easy thing to do. And so I do time to time need an energy drink to pick me up. And so I go with G Fuel because it's a lot healthier than some of the energy drinks that are out there. Use my promo code KAGE in order to get your discount. When you click on my affiliate link down in the description box, you can purchase the Kaiju number 8 box as well as any other anime themed G Fuel products that strike your fancy. Doing so really helps support the channel. Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the battle with one of the awakened shinjuu that we all know is coming at some point in the manga, and after the most recent developments in the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex story via chapter 11, I think this is the time for us to revisit the looming battle of Matsuri versus Konohamaru. Part of the reason for this is the channel artist that I have on payroll, Shyrose, came up with the topic of suggestion that I believe is good enough to bring up to you guys with the larger community, which is the fact that we need to roll back the expectations that Konohamaru is going to get absolutely crushed in his battle with Matsuri when it happens, because the story is building in a zinger here. Now, longtime viewers of the channel, you guys all remember that one of the thumbnails I did in the past was having Matsuri break Konohamaru's back in homage to a Superman and Darkseid comic book panel, and I took the stance that Konohamaru was going to get massacred. I trolled him super hard with the thumbnail idea, and my guy Arrows in our chat last night regarding some of the future thumbnails that we were going to make, he raised a really good point, which is we're looking at this battle the exact wrong way. That's why in today's newest Naruto Explained video, I wanted to explain why this battle should go in a much different way than a lot of you guys might not be expecting. As we continue on with what I refer to as being the Shinjuu Awakening arc, so from chapter 5 onward, we came into this arc expecting Konohamaru to have only marginally improved, and yet what we ended up seeing is that Konohamaru spent the last 3 years following what he believed was the death of Naruto, refining his jutsu and creating a wind-release Rasen barrier, which uses the rotation of the Rasengan and the change in chakra shape and change in chakra nature to create a defensive shield to protect him from attacks as powerful as the Hidari at point blank range, redirecting the output of chakra in a way that protected him from that attack. It's not much, but it's a sign that our boy had decided to further show his genius by adding a Rasengan, a jutsu that was primarily used for an offensive attack, and create something using a combination of changing chakra nature and changing chakra shape for the purposes of defense. While that will come in handy in the future battle of Matsuri versus Konohamaru, him being at the very least able to use a jutsu like that to prevent himself from being killed on impact, that isn't what stands a good chance of saving him in that battle. Don't get me wrong, that's going to play a huge role, but that's not going to be what ends up saving him. It's going to be the bond with Moegi, the person whose chakra was used in order to create Matsuri. For as cliche as this might sound, and I'm well aware this sounds very cliche, I do believe we need to start looking at the possibility that one of the things that ends up playing a role in Matsuri's defeat is love. And it's not something that I ever truly considered until it got raised to me last night in conversation. So you guys know I've been a big proponent of the fact that eventually the chakra, the shinjuu that was used to create them, it would end up backfiring of sorts as we got deeper into the story, because we have it established as far back as the Naruto manga that chakra is used for more than just ninjutsu, but it also connects people and One of the ways that chakra was used to connect people is that chakra contained the memories of the person inside of them. Boruto's manga, it took it a step further by showing us that genetics, they contain memories as well. As we saw with Kashin Koji containing fragmented memories of Jiraiya, and all the clones of Amato's daughter, they all possess her memories. With Matsuri, when we stick to this very same point, the writing is there on the wall for this to be a case for a character, and it directly leads to Konohamaru and Moegi potentially having something closer than friends. So when Ada first meets Konohamaru and he's shown simping over her, getting basically a nosebleed looking at a 16-year-old girl, there's a moment where in the manga, when you look at the Japanese version of the story, in the scene where Moegi is coming for Konohamaru, the lettering that can be used, it can be translated either way, either as what the official said, which is that it's a childhood friend coming to look for him, or it can be translated as there's a female love interest from your childhood who's coming to see you. It just depends on which of the three Japanese lettering systems you use and how you interpret the lettering that's being used. Since again, as I've said numerous times here on the channel, Japanese to English is not something you can translate word to word like you can with Spanish, since translating to English requires using the context in and around what's being spoken by the characters, especially because there's some words in Japanese that you don't have words or expressions in English for them. So you have to try and find the best way to translate it into English. So a lot of it's at the liberty of the person that's translating. If we go at that moment as the latter interpretation, it changes what we have going on moving forward. It both serves as foreshadowing for Moegi's fate, because Ada mentioning how close she is to Konohamaru and her being turned into a tree, and her awakened shinjuu feeling that strong urge to go after Konohamaru, it changes how you view Konohamaru, how he was looking at Moegi, saying that whoever did to this will pay greatly. That changes why Matsuri went from saying she can feel the hatred of the Inoshikacho trio, only to suddenly settle as Konohamaru as being her target. The shinjuu each target someone directly close to the original, and in particular the person whose chakra that they're made from. Just as the humanoid version of the Ten Tails Jura was drawn to Naruto and now to Himawari because the Nine Tails chakra was once a part of a entirely different Ten Tails, but a Ten Tails nonetheless. The connection was there. Jura went after him. Bug was obsessed with and in love with Ada. Now Bug, the shinjuu, is targeting Ada, the same person who he wants to devour. Sasuke's last thoughts when he was fighting against Code and all those claw grinds was thinking about his daughter Sarada. And now Hidari, his awakened shinjuu, is targeting Sarada. Moegi is setting her sights on Konohamaru now. The logic, it does line up there, especially considering that in some of the scenes in the anime, we saw a moment or two where it was hinted that Moegi might care for Konohamaru on a deeper level than just being friends, because she sure as hell isn't keeping Snot God Udon as a sneaky link. While it would be something utterly cliche, regulating a female character back to being driven by her emotions and her romantic interest that she's keeping buried inside, it's a cliche that's been done so much in shonen for a reason. People, they swear that they hate it. They tell you till they're blue on their face that they hate it. But time and time again, it continues to get reused decade after decade because a majority of fans, they are receptive to it. There's a reason why cliches exist and why cliches continuously get used over and over in literature. They work. I'm not against the idea of Matsuri pulling up in Konoha, or she runs into Konohamaru outside the village and she starts slapping this guy around during their fight. Who knows, the guy Konohamaru might enjoy it a little bit, especially with her wearing that skin tight black outfit that looks like some dominatrix stuff. Konohamaru might have his very little teeny weeny itsy bitsy Konohamaru Jr. get excited, and if that happens, hey, that's absolutely fine. I ain't judging, dog. However, the prospect of that chakra stirring up the memories during the extended fight has to be at least considered. Look at it from this perspective. The chakra that made the awakened shinjuu has them seeking out people to devour, in particular people and things that are close to the original. They're seeking out the chakra of those people in order to gain a better understanding of themselves. The awakened shinjuu, they're going through all the stages of humanity, and they're currently in the stage where their curiosity, it is getting the better of them as they try to find purpose for their lives. This could be a path that goes towards the story setting up a swerve needed to either make the awakened shinjuu evolve further into something more sinister, or it could set the stage for dissension amongst the ranks of the awakened shinjuu, because For instance, right now, Jura is the one who is in firm control. He's calling all the shots. He's guiding the other shinjuu. He's been guiding them along, telling them, hey, yeah, you should definitely go after Sarada. You should definitely go after Ada and the Senrigan. Moegi, yeah, you should definitely go swallow up Konohamaru. However, those who follow, they eventually find themselves wanting to lead. It is one of the tried and tested tropes in shonen. There comes a point where the desire to search out for one's own passions, it outweighs the goals that come from being as part of a group. Those awakened shinjuu, they have begun to evolve. They're forming their own thoughts and opinions. They're walking their own individual paths. They aren't all ruled by some primal instinct to devour another Suzuki like Boruto or Kawaki. They are willing to go chase after all their curiosities. As we see with Jura, he started out curious about Naruto and Kurama, and his interest, they then shifted to Shikamaru's son Shikadai, saying he can't wait to meet him again in the future, which directly goes against Matsuri, who said that she was interested in Konohamaru, but she was also shown to have a pull towards the members of Team 10, which makes sense. Moegi was their sensei. If you go with there potentially being a deeper bond with Konohamaru and Moegi, that affects the way that Matsuri is going to end up viewing Konohamaru. It makes things get very messy, and that's something that you want to see as a writer. It gives you a lot more conflict to play with. Again, it is totally cliche, and sticking to the manga, it follows the trend of suspect writing for pairings that we've seen in the past, like how when you read Naruto's manga, prior to the events of the Akatsuki suppression arc, there wasn't even a remote hint of Asuma and Kurenai being a thing when you read the Naruto manga, but after the 2.5-year time skip, we learned that Asuma was secretly banging Kurenai this whole time, and we just accepted that they were a thing, and the two of them are telling Kakashi, hey, we need to speak to you about something. Probably saying, hey Kakashi, want to be the godfather to our kid? All before Asuma runs into Hidari, and he leaves Kurenai a single mother to raise their child alone. And he tells Shikamaru, hey fam, you're gonna be the godfather to my child, be her sensei and raise her, peace out dog, gotta leave. Child support's definitely a thing I ain't trying to pay. We've seen relationships, they form off of less. Again, I am not the hugest fan of romantic angles being used in this way, but I do think at the very least Moegi's chakra inside of Matsuri is gonna play a role here. And looking at the connective tissue from the 3 different translations you could use for Ada referring to Konohamaru and Moegi, there might be something here to look back at to consider. The channel artist talked me into it in the very brief pitch that he made, and it's something that I now consider, just like I would strongly consider watching this Mitsui Kanroji video if you're a fan of the Demon Slayer story by clicking over here on the left, or click here to the right for this after Naruto Shippuden video that explains how Kakashi and Guy teamed up one final time to fight 2 ice release users before Naruto became Hokage in a scene that the anime never showed you.